And boom, boom, boom. We're live, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Red TV and Conversation. I'm Peter Clark, and thank you for joining me today. I super appreciate it. If you're here for the first time, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you're back again, you already know what you're in for. So I super appreciate that. And welcome to everybody who's across the internet. We're on all kinds of different platforms. We're on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. And what else are we on? YouTube. Listen, anything that the kids are dialing down, that's what we're doing today. Except Clubhouse. I'm going to talk about Clubhouse in a little bit. I didn't link this out to Clubhouse, so because this our guest right here is a rock star on Clubhouse. Just so you know, we got so much to talk about. And listen, I learned this from my guest, who really encouraged me one time on another video, another interview that we did, where she popped in as a guest, and to do this. And I don't do this very much, so I'm going to do this. A little plug for myself. That's it. Listen, if you like what I do and you like the show, please like and share it, and just come back and support. And it really means a lot to me. So I appreciate that. There you go. That's enough about me. Hey, I'm so pumped today. I can't stand it. I dressed appropriately for this person. Let me tell you something. A rock star. That's what she is. I can't listen. I'm going to go through this really, really quick because we have so much to cover in such a short period of time. Certified life strategist and mindset coach. Okay. First of all, when you hear her speak, you're going to lose your mind. Okay. So speaker, author of 2 books. She's an award-winning journalist, TV host, radio host. I'm talking Emmy, Telly, right? Number of press club awards. She's hosted on television networks, her own shows. Got production credits, HGTV, DIU. She's an actor, musician, singer, amazing voiceover artist. I mean, amazing voiceover. Daughter of a lieutenant colonel in the United States Air Force. Can you imagine that? Lived around the world, around the States. So she has a very, very broad, wide world perspective, which is including Iran. She lived in Iran. Let that go. Cancer survivor, Reiki energy worker, which I know a lot about Reiki, which is super cool. Love that. And in case all of this fails, she could fall back on being an ordained minister. How about that? I mean, just in case. Hey, and you got to cover all your bases. You just never know what's going to happen. So would you please welcome, listen, one of my favorite people out there right now, Janette R. Smith, which is Janette Renee Smith. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Did I get it all in?
You did. I loved it. I love and if none of those 20 things work out, she can fall back on this one. I love that.
There you go. Hey, listen, like I said, I follow you on social media. I watch your work. I know what you do. None of that's going to fall through, just so you know. But hey, the fact that you're an ordained minister.
I know that just happened. That just happened this month. Well, let me say it didn't just happen. The process was 5 years. The ordination itself just happened October the 15th on my father's birthday.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic. I didn't know that was the date. I didn't know.
No. Why would you know? But I just what makes it funny, and you'll appreciate this, is when I first had that feeling like, God source, the divine, the uncreated creator, however people source that, was, kind of downloading to me, I need you to do work in this area. I was like, me, a minister? Like at the time, I had just left news and was going into entertainment. And I was like, really? But I also got but not now.
Right.
Just let it. And so it wasn't until another 10, 12 years. And my father said to me, I don't know if you want to do that. Guys aren't going to want to date you if you're a minister. And he was joking, but he was trying to give me just the pros and cons thing of it all. And I was like, but Dad, it's kind of slim right now anyway. So, so for me, it was kind of like a nod to him that the actual ceremony took place on his birthday. It was just
Let's say, listen, that's great. Hey, Lieutenant Colonel. Hey, hold on a second. Let me just get that straight here. Hey, listen, are they coming to get you? You're in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh my God, I was just about to come to.
That's okay.
Call
I
this.
hear.
I'm in the Inner Harbor area in downtown.
Yeah,
and there's a hospital right there. So sorry. That or I'm on fire.
I was just gonna say, if you have to get out of the building, you let me know. It's all good. Hey, I just want to acknowledge, and we'll talk about this beautiful person later on. That's Lieutenant Colonel John E. Smith that we're talking about right there, everybody. So we'll talk about him in a little bit. I just want to acknowledge, listen, everybody. I so appreciate when you join the show. The comments come in. Lots of things are going on in the show, as you can imagine. So I'm always trying to recognize everybody that's here. So I'll quickly tell you, Janette, that everyone's kind of tuning in. Danielle is actually tuning in from the Netherlands. How about that right there? Netherlands.
Beautiful. Hi, Danielle.
Daniel Hall, love this guy, rock star. And by the way, Janette, he has a really cool product where, as a service, if you will, he actually has created something where he can track all of the data for your live streams on LinkedIn.
Very cool.
Oh, you're a live streamer, so I just want to tell you that. Shout out to this guy. Melody, love Melody, got that beautiful Boston accent from Massachusetts. Boom. I always love seeing her. She is awesome. She does a lot of work with PTSD and people. She's been through that, and she does. So you guys would resonate. She's a great writer and so on. And Kevin Cox, good to see you. Boom. I love that, from Indianapolis. Boom. There you are. Hey, how are you? That is awesome. And of course, Tim. Hey, thanks, Tim, for tuning in. Appreciate it. From Pennsylvania. Hey, listen, coming in from Pennsylvania. This guy got a great new show, by the way. This connects to you a little tiny bit. And we'll talk about this again. I did not know about the surviving cancer, but cancer survivor right over there, that beautiful soul. And Tim the same. And he's created a show talking about that and giving a safe space for people to tell their stories.
Beautiful.
How cool is that? I mean, come on, that's cool stuff, right? And look at this. I think I know this person. I know this person.
Hey, sister.
She is awesome. She is awesome. And Daniel is Maryland. There you go. Baltimore and Maryland. Daniel, tell me exactly where in Maryland, because that I did not know this. So there you go. And there you go. Sending love. She's a gift to the world. Yeah, you got. I tend to agree. Right back at you though, Jacqueline Way, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Right back
Absolutely.
at you.
And if you missed that conversation Peter had with her, you need to go back to the archives on that one. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun conversation. So I just want you everyone to know we talked about your book as well. You'll see them in the corner of your.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're an author. Listen,
you're fancy.
I barely read books. I'm just joking. You wrote one.
That's hilarious. I did.
So I think that's fantastic. So listen, we got so much to cover. I'm so excited to have you here first. So let's get right to it here. Look, along the bottom, everybody, this is how you can reach out to Janette, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so on. But Clubhouse, you're a Clubhouse rock star. I mean, literally, seriously, I'm not joking. Like, you are seriously at another level when you have conversations and hold space for people. So I want people to know and go out and learn more about you out there and make sure that they reach out to you and talk with that. I'm going to jump right to your website because I want to kind of just generally know how people can connect with you, because you're not only an unbelievable host and so on, but you run a business, and I want people to know that they can reach out to you. They can hire you for all kinds of different things, and they can serve you in that way so that you continue to serve other people in the way that you do. So I'm going to jump out there and we'll talk about that a little bit. Again, there's so much out there. Let's start with the book though, if you can. I'll jump to the website, but let's talk about those two books. One of them, of course, is I love this, From Dream to Reality, Navigating the Path to Your Purpose. Talk about that just a little bit, and I'll show people where they can find it, and
sure,
on Amazon, all that kind of stuff. Go ahead, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this book was the labor of love that came out of my over 30 years in television news and entertainment and consulting and all that. And I'd worked with, as you know, because you've been doing your research, people from Oprah to Iyanla to John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar, I got, before he passed. And so one of the things that I realized was I felt lost sometimes, even though I had a really great vocation, but I felt lost because I didn't understand how it all worked together for purpose. Once I did the work, and there was a great book that kind of got me started, which was The Path by Lori Beth Jones. I understood that I had this overarching, which we all kind of do have this overarching umbrella. And under that umbrella, we may wear several hats. So for me, my umbrella is under the acronym I came up with of EIEIO, to empower, inspire, engage, entertain, and inform people in original ways. So how I might do that in one season was I was a journalist, right? How I did that in another season, I was entertainment host, entertainment. How I did that in another season was I was a, executive level consultant in media. So there's so many different hats that I've worn, but understanding purpose, being able to, what the Japanese call, find your ikigai.
Yes, love ikigai.
Where what I do and I'm passionate about and what I'm good at doing, not just what I do, but what I'm good at doing, overlaps with what the world needs and what the world will pay for, what I can exchange. And when you find those things, in the center of that all is your bliss, your purposeful bliss. And I just wanted people not to be lost. I wanted people to find their path. Now, here's what's funny, Peter.
Tell me.
I just thought of this. Let me grab this. This is Oprah's book. Now, I have always found myself 6 degrees of separation from Oprah.
Yeah, I don't think it's 6. I think it's way less than that.
It might be, yeah.
No, it's way less than that.
Right.
Yes,
okay, so here's the laugh. So when I started in news, I started out doing the cut-ins in news like she did. When I moved to Cincinnati, I ended up working on a project with her for 2 days. So I got to actually work with her, right?
Come on. How cool is
then
that?
Later in life, here I am living in Baltimore, which she lived in Baltimore.
That's
she
correct.
Started her career. I attend the church that she used to attend here. When I went over to DC, they have the National Museum of African American History. And one of the things they have in there is this check from Oprah written to Bethel AME Church. That's the church I go to. So we attended the same church. And I wrote this book. This book came out in 2015, right? Now, here's the book that Oprah came out with I was trying to look for the date.
Yeah, yours is 2015. But again, it's timeless information. And this is
absolutely. But this is 2019. Look at Oprah's book.
Oh, come on. Hold that up for a second. Come on.
From dream to reality, navigating the path to your life purpose, the path made clear by Oprah.
Come on.
And she's walking down the, I mean, is that not, you know how I am about synchronous things. So,
yeah, well, I know that this is what I love about you, and there are people in my life that are sort of like that, where you are able to tune in and pick up things. You instantly do, and it's out there. You know how people talk about it, songwriters talk about it all the time. They just say, I just channel that. You do that very, very well. And guess what? I think Oprah does too, because obviously she's channeling.
That's what I said. I was like, we're in the spirit, Oprah. We're in the spirit.
Right. No, I love it. Again, it's a timeless book, everybody. And that's the whole point of it. I mean, it's talking about.
This is the second, this is the second edition, because I did update some of the exercises. It is what I call a work journal, right? It is because you read and then there's some stuff for you to do. It's not one of those that you're going to get tired and throw away, because I'm one of those people like you. I heard you laugh, but I know what you mean by you don't want to get buried under the material of a book. You want to get the benefit. Like a
library of
books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want the benefit of a book. And so what ends up happening is if you get too overwhelmed, then you don't do much of anything with it. But yeah, so I wanted to give something that helped me. It was some of the exercises I used, things that I got from different people that I worked with that helped me fine tune. And let me tell you, in this season of the pandemic, when people are, what's the big term now? Everybody's like resigning. It's the resignation wave, right?
Everyone's kind of quitting their job.
Right.
Yeah, the grand resignation.
The grand resignation, because I feel like people are figuring out kind of what I did. For me, I think the pandemic is for people what 9/11 was for me. 9/11 for me shook me and made me go, if this were my last day, if this were how my life were to end, would I be doing what I feel like I'm called to do? Or am I just doing paycheck to pay bills to paycheck to pay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening with people now in the pandemic. It's reminding us of what's important. And I think people are looking to say, I want to do something that means more. I want to be more significant in my life, in the world. I can make money doing that several different ways. Why am I stuck doing this? You know?
Yeah,
So
well, you spend a lot of time. Let's face it. A lot of people have spent a lot of time with themselves, very uncharacteristically, because you're forced to when you have the freedom to kind of distract yourself. It's one thing to be able to just to kind of turn on, TV and so on, which people have done, but they get tired of that as well. And then when you take away the fact I can't just run out and see friends and family and gather, you spend a lot of time with yourself. So I understand what you mean by reflection. Hey, I want to throw out the other part of the book number 2 here, everybody. You talk about this is truly a workbook and a journal.
yeah.
Release Action Journal and Devotion, an empowered woman's action playbook. Talk a little bit about that. I know it has an empowered woman's action book, but hey, I'm comfortable with my feminine side. I'll have a look through it.
Well, let me tell you what's funny about this. Now, I was working on this book before the pandemic, and there was this big push in me to work things out so that they would publish before the pandemic. But nobody knew a pandemic was coming. I just had this deadline on me. I had a couple of events were going on, and I thought maybe what I was sensing was tied to the women's conferences. But let me tell you, the book gets published. We go into a pandemic, and the first divine download I get is get online. So this is how I know all about this lovely platform. Get online for 30 days, because this is a 30-day action journal.
Yeah,
and
please hold that book up a little closer. Would you please hold that up for us, everybody? Look how quickly. There you go.
It's the 21 days. Get online for 21 days and go through each one of these devotionals. And I was like, oh, okay. And the people that showed up, Peter, to your point, it wasn't just women. It was men, it was women, it was young, it was all. I mean, the root of the matter, detox for your soul, you're covered, not cast away, how to have hard conversations. These are topics that everyone living outside the pressure cooker. I mean, these are, and for those of you who are faith inclined, it doesn't have to be tied to religion. I'm a Christian, but to be honest with you, and Peter, you know this, people come to my rooms and stuff with no faith tradition,
and your language is like that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that your language is like that, by the way. I'm sorry to jump in. I just want to tell people that. That's why I'm saying tune into her shows. And again, you'll get that spiritual fulfillment.
Inclusivity is very important part of who I am.
Bingo. Yeah, keep going. So keep going. So you got this calling to get online, and then people started showing up.
21 days, and I find this platform, and I get online in 21 days, and we talk about. And what I found was it was the spiritual nourishment that helped people figuring out what to do with this whole pandemic situation. I had guests that came on too, but that's when I learned what this was really about. This thing was jump started to help people through the pandemic. And now it is a beautiful resource for those of you who like to start your mornings with a little nugget of devotional and something to meditate on through the day.
Yep. Right here. This guy, when I get up in the morning, right here. I have to. I don't share this very often, and this is why I got to be careful with being in the room with you, because you make me feel like I should be just constantly telling my inner darkest secrets. But when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I need to do is go into that mode, because I don't jump. I don't know if other people do this, but I don't just jump out of bed and feel like I'm on 10. I don't feel like that. So when I get up, I've trained myself and said, Peter, hey. First thing I say to myself is 2 feet on the ground. Thank you. I walk 5 steps and I'm at my bathroom. I have running water and a toilet. When you travel through Africa and you find out that people don't have that, that just resonates. So I say, Peter, look what you have running water. And so I start with gratitude. And so to your point, it's a great way. This book is a great way for people to jump in the morning and start maybe an action journal and something. And again, I emphasize the woman's action playbook only because I know the focus was, on a demographic that obviously really resonates with you, but guys like us resonate with you too. So I just want to make sure guys
all pronouns are going to find juice in that book. I'm gonna tell you, all pronouns are going to find juice in that book. And can I tell you another secret?
Please.
I don't always get up feeling like
right.
But for me, it's the same thing. I am very intentional. I'm very intentional about before my eyes even open. I do the same thing. I'm grateful today. Sometimes I'm grateful for my puppy. I can feel her nuzzling up under my arm. I'm grateful for this little soul that,
Yes.
that I have that brings me laughter and joy. I'm grateful for this breath. I'm grateful today that I even have things to do, and that my body is going to meet me at that place of doing so that I can get it done. I'm grateful for this creative mind that I have. And I'm grateful that even though I don't feel strength in my body right now, or all the energy of the day in my body right now, I'm grateful for the things that are going to show up to surprise me and make me laugh and, bring me joy. And so those are the things that you have to take, control over. It's manifestation, right? It is what the law of attraction, intention, prayer, and meditation are all about. Because I know plenty of people who pray, who meditate, and still get up in anxiety. It's the intention behind this stuff. You have to hold the vibrational congruency for the things that you're praying for, the things you're meditating over. And that starts with gratitude.
Oh gosh, you said just a word that I just so love: congruency, congruent. I always in my brain, and I said it a couple times here on the show before. Congruent for me is where your mind, your mouth, your heart, your wallet,
Harmony.
and your feet all move in the same direction.
Harmony. Absolutely. That's it. And half of us are fighting. We're rowing our boats upstream, fighting.
Here he is. Listen, we have to talk offline, because everything you're just saying is that guy right there. Listen, so many great comments in here. I super appreciate it. I just want to make sure that there's lots of love being sent here. Wendy, thank you, Wendy, for tuning into the show. It's always good. Someone loves your EIEIO. I bet you that's my beautiful spouse, Renuka Mohan. If it is,
hi, Renuka.
I think it is. And of course, she's aware, Jacqueline's aware of your book. There you go. One of my favorite books right there. Another beautiful soul to, again, to connect with one day. Janette is Rhonda. She is just amazing. She is just a very positive soul out there.
Hello.
So I just want to acknowledge everybody here is doing so good. There you go. Daniel and Tim are having a conversation. So Daniel Levin, I hope you're here, my friend. Oh, there he is. Look at that. Oh, this is awesome. Good to see you, my friend.
Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, like you guys connect. You've talked before and all that kind of stuff. I know that he's jumped into your show and in the room and all these kinds of things. So, and look at this. See, right from the Netherlands, they love you.
Thank you, Daniel.
So I want to make sure that you're feeling all the love.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, I just showed a little bit of your website, but I want people to make sure we talked about your 2 books. We'll make sure that they get the links to that as well. Again, just congratulations on that, because again, those books are tools that, even though again, it doesn't matter when it was written. It's like a great song. I mean, let's face it. Hey, listen, I know another book that's a couple thousand years old, so it's still, it can all be relevant, right? So, I mean, the bottom line is you don't have to have a book. I think your book is super timely right now, and I want to encourage everyone to get out there and talk about that. Hey, listen, you're on Clubhouse. You're a rock star on there, and you're holding so much space doing this, sharing this. I'm just curious, what kind of conversations are you having out there right now? What are you feeling out there from people inside those rooms?
I say that my juice is holding space for people and helping people push past stuck. And that can look look differently on a day-to-day basis. We had a room, just the other day, where someone just lost their father that morning and came in the room, and, we were able to hold space for her, but also for others who maybe you didn't lose someone in the physical realm, but you're experiencing loss in this season. And so just, how do we position ourselves with that? A lot of people want to run past it. The grieving, our emotions are not the enemy. Those things are there to help us process not only what we feel, but the physiological aspect of what happens. Because if you're stressed or if you're anxious, those things release certain chemicals in your body, right? And so you want to go ahead, you want to process them out so that you can release that. You don't want to, you don't want to sit in anxiety and stress and grief longer than you really need to. And some people anchor themselves to this. Sometimes they're making themselves, quote unquote, pay for something they believe they could have done better. Sometimes people just don't know how to process those tough emotions and how to shift their perspective, reframe maybe what they're going through. So that's the kind of thing that we do. And everything's not a heavy day. We have Wednesday, which is our WINS day, where we celebrate small wins, because a lot of people do not celebrate the incremental moves that help them get to the big thing. A lot of people are on that, you've heard me say this, time release capsule version of happiness, where it's like, I'll wait until I hit this marker to celebrate me or to feel good about me. And why? Every step that got you there should be celebrated, right? And so, these are just some of the things, some of the energy and the isness in the room.
I'm telling you, like, you just right there, you just said a whole bunch of things. I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad we're recording this. It's just because again, you say some amazing things and share amazing things. I want to make sure some people again see your website here. Look, this is a pro, everybody. I mean, super pro. I just wanted to show that to everybody. You are a super pro, and I just love sharing space with some, someone who is in that world. I mean, again, not just broadcasting, and I don't want to say just broadcasting. Broadcasting is very, very hard, very, very difficult. But you have producing credits, writing credits. You've done it. You've done live theater. So I'm just you're a musician. I know you play piano. I know. Listen, you are the full package. So
you've been digging.
I know you're a piano. You're around 3 years old, from what I understand. So you've done your work. I super appreciate. I want to see if I can get up here that picture now of the clubhouse, so that people understand what we're talking about, where to go. It's an audio app, everybody. Bottom line, if you don't know too much about it, just Google it. It's going to come up. You download it onto your phone, and basically you can join these rooms where you have these great conversations. And this is where you can connect with Janette. It's at Janette Smith, and 5,300 followers. Listen, that's got to be 53,000. Everybody, what's going on? Come on, Clubhouse, get the algorithm going. Work with this lady. But I just love what you do. So this is what it looks like, everybody, and you can find Janette. You have regular shows as well, do you not? Like are they kind of scheduled? Are they like in Wednesday?
Yeah, we do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Beautiful. And then I'm often asked to pop up and do host rooms in like Collective Elevation Club, which you know about, and Got Ideas Club, and different clubs. And so if you follow me and you click the little bell, it will give you an alert when I'm speaking on stage somewhere. And if you're available and it's a topic you're interested in, jump on in.
Absolutely. You know what? Even it's not the topic. When I see you in a room, I just go in there. I just go, if she's in there.
That's funny. That is hilarious. We call it clubhouse stalking, but it is so funny because I have, like, the people that I'm connected to, I do that too, because I know that outside of the things that we talk about, that they're just, inquisitive. So they're going to go in interesting rooms. So I always tell people, come in at your own. Sometimes it's not because I'm going to talk. It might be, I just want to see what the conversation is in here.
Right. That's so very true. And and there's the humility there. It's like, you don't know what you don't know. I'll tell you, the longer I live, man, every day I wake up and go, I just know so little. I mean, I just realize how little I know. And every day I'm humbled by just learning about things and people. And I'm like, wow, I did not know.
But you're also a teacher. You're a and we all are. We are teachers and we are students. You should be, because some people disregard their ability to teach because they compare or they're competing with other people. But all you have to know is more than the person that's directly behind you or hasn't had the experiences you've had. And so we are all teachers. We are all students, and we should all endeavor to continue to learn.
Yeah, that's a great message as well. Listen, you talk to so many wonderful people, and you hold the space for them. It's kind of like Daniel Levin. He just holds space for people, but at the same time, you have really good conversations as well, and you're sharing them. So you hear so many things. From your experience of listening to so many people from around the world, what are people searching for right now? What do you think they're actually, because we just talked about I got like a library of books and I'm still searching. So what do you think that people are searching for right now?
Significance, meaning, purpose, their place, and that connectivity that comes with that. There's a certainty that comes when you know that you're serving a purpose, and what you have to offer is meaningful in it, and it matters. And then there's some contribution in that beyond the work, that it's important. And I find that people who not all, but some people who say that they're searching, it's not necessarily that they're searching. Some of them know, they already know. It's about being open to receive it and then to walk in it. So a lot of people, I'll have conversations in clients because I coach, and I'll have conversations and we'll go around about it. And they are getting the same, when you're in alignment with source, when you shut out the world and you get quiet, source is always downloading little things for you to consider and to contemplate and to guide and to protect. But we get so busy, we don't want to hear all that, because the truth is some of us don't want to hear what's coming down the pipe. We're not sure we want to hear it. And so we kind of get real busy with stuff, and we a lot of yah in our life so that we don't hear. But if you get quiet and you hear it, it's not often about, I don't know what purpose there is for me, or what significance in the work of my hands, or that my creativity. It's about, will I walk the path? And do I believe in myself to have enough to walk past? So our disbelief in our enoughness holds us back a lot of times.
Wow. Are you talking to me, or are we just having a conversation here? You're talking.
Whomever the shoe may fit.
Yeah, listen, everybody. That's why I'm hoping someone is hearing exactly what these messages are.
Hey, that's been all of us at some point. Let's be honest, because what happens is, whatever you have achieved, if you look up, oh, there's the ceiling, and then you realize, I got to get there. And then you get there and you look up again, you go, oh, what was the ceilings? Now your floor, and there's more ceiling. So every time we move from one level to our next level, there's uncertainty, because you've never been at that place before. And uncertainty comes with, a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of, ooh, do I have enough for this? Am I going to make mistakes? Who's going to, all of that stuff comes with it. And so that's why I really get excited for people when they're saying they want to go to the next level. But the first question I ask them is, are you going to accept, when the next level shows up, are you going to accept that side dish of uncertainty that comes with that? Because it's coming. We want the big package of the, you've achieved, you have arrived, you've done more, you're expanding your territory, but you don't want that side dish of uncertainty that comes with it. And it's coming because you haven't been here before.
Right.
So there's always that small arc of growth, right? Of growing pains, of mistakes, of missteps, all of that's in there. And you got to take the side dish with the main course.
Oh, love that. You just said a couple of words in there. Again, you talk intention. I hear the language. See, and that's what I say. I'm such a big Wayne Dyer fan, and the power of intention. I love that. And he talks source all the time, and so on. And just what you said right there about being able to embrace the uncertainty. Isn't it amazing? And I only say this because I travel a lot. And I know that you lived around the world with your dad being in the Air Force and so on. So you've lived a lot of places. You've moved a lot of places. Believe it or not, my dad was a police officer, and we moved around a lot. So I moved around a lot when I was a kid. So I resonate with that idea that you learn to do that. What's interesting, isn't it interesting that we get excited about traveling, and that's uncertain, but we get excited with that. And yet, just what you described is that we know that other parts of our lives are uncertain, and we tense up and we don't embrace it. And I
don't want to travel there. And really, it's the same muscle, right? We could use the same muscle. The thing that we get excited about traveling is that you're going to meet new people. You're going to see new sights. You're going to experience new cultures. You're going to see new things. You're going to eat different food. That's exciting. The same thing applies when you get ready to step into a new season of your life. You're going to meet new people. You're going to see new sights. You're going to be but what we've done on this side is we've made the perspective one of high energy, of excitement, of anticipation. And we've taken it over here and we've let that excitement turn to fear. And, they will tell you, scientists and researchers will tell you the vibration between those two feelings is very, very, very similar, and that you can recycle anxiety into excitement. This is what entertainers do. This is what performers do. That's why they can go out in the stadium of 50,000 people and feel all that high vibration of people and use it as excitement and fuel versus fear and imploding.
Absolutely relate to that. This is just so you know, and I might have said this to you before. Maybe we talked about being doing live streams and just being That's why I do live. This is why I like doing this. First of all, I just love the energy. I mean, that's why
Yeah,
I feed off the energy,
me
and
too.
there's a fear factor in there that I push through. I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. Technology, anything can happen. So there's that uncertainty, and that makes it feel like you're alive. Versus, like you said, have everything planned out, and then there's no fear to that. All you're executing then, and so I love that analogy that you just referred to. I got you here. You're ordained now, so this takes it to another level for me. I mean, you're ordained, so this is
I
going
can
to
marry, bury, and give out communion. So let's
oh.
do it.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I just want to give you a couple more shout outs here. There's so many people just this was Suzanne Heaton, beautiful person, Suzanne Heaton, EIEIO. She's awesome. Motivated by Nature is her platform. Basically, she encourages people to get out to nature and connect with nature in order
Awesome.
to.
Great to meet you, Suzanne.
Yeah, so she does amazing stuff. And there's Daniel sending love to you, sending love to, hey, good to see you, my friend. And there is your beautiful friend holding space for the love, Janette R. Smith. Good time
Yeah.
and tough ones. Yeah, so I know I can only imagine you guys had some.
Because Jacqueline and you know this, and I told her this off the app yesterday when I just reached out to her to have a little sister time. I told her that when you do that work, it can take strength from you. It can, when you're holding space for people, depending on what the weights are that are going on in the room, especially when you're holding space for many, many people. As an empath, I feel those energies. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot happening at one time. Yeah, I'm just sitting in a chair, but I'm holding space for somebody who just lost their father, for instance. And then we have other people that are relating to that. And I'm making sure that the buoy is just right so that we can all get. And then what about this person who hasn't lost anybody and they came in to share something? Well, I have to create enough space so that opposing truths can be in the room, that somebody can still feel like there's room for them to celebrate something they wanted to share that's celebratory, while we have somebody on this side that's grieving. Meanwhile, I'm getting divine downloads for people, messages of encouragement and those types of things. So it's a lot. And Jacqueline is, she is a beautiful spirit who strengthens and helps me hold my arms up and gives me the energy to stand in and do those things. It's a very, what I call an intercessory piece. It's where you stand in the gap for somebody. And she is a beautiful soul that does just that for me.
That is an awesome relationship. And you know what's so amazing, if we were talking about this, correct me if I'm wrong, all developed through Clubhouse. Am I not correct on that? Yeah.
Yep. We've never met in person. The first time we even saw each other sort of live virtually was on your show when I popped in to surprise her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember. That's right. That was the first time you were actually on screen together. That's right. I remember that. Listen, I love where we're going with this conversation. I hope you do too. I have you here now. So you know what? We're going to go deep. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go deep.
Do it, baby.
We got to go deep because you're an ordained minister now. We got to go deep. Here we go. All right, we're going deep. That's what we're doing. We're going deep. Hey, so this is going to be exciting because I've talked to Daniel actually sort of, I think I might have asked him a couple of these questions. I can't remember if it's on air or off air, but I'd love to get your perspective. I mean, these are giant. Listen, you can do a full show on any one of these. Okay, so you just kind of give us your Coles Notes version of what you think these are. I often talk about the soul and spirit, and I know you do too. You talk about soul and spirit and so on. Someone has soul, or you can sense someone's spirit or sense their energy and so on. What do you think about those two concepts, soul and spirit? Are they the same?
Soul we've had this conversation. I don't personally see them as the same. I see them, well, here's what's funny. For those of you who are watching, let me just throw my disclaimer out. For those of you who are watching who only know me as an AME minister, and just roll with me. You always knew that I was a different one. So just roll with me. Yeah, I don't see them as the same in some ways that I've heard people discuss it, the soul of a person, their essence, their being, their isness, their spirit, that piece of the divine that is plopped on the inside of them, that spark, I think about, we talked about that movie Soul. Remember that? We talked about
Yeah,
the movie Soul.
right.
And
Right.
that kind of makes it both and. And so I will say this. I know that I don't know enough to know the mind of God. That's what I know. And so how it all works, I know that once we leave this body, that's not the end of us, that we are transmuted and that energy doesn't die. I believe as a minister that we go to heaven, but what heaven looks like, I'm not sure that everybody got that part right. And so and then there's people that will argue about, they want to argue about reincarnation and this and that. And then I know there's people in the Christian faith that don't believe in reincarnation. Then I ask them, well, who was Jesus talking to, those dead people that were on the mountain of transfiguration? Because they had already died. So who were those people who he was talking to? So, there's just, the more you know you don't know.
Yeah, we just said that. We just talked about that. I wanted to bring this up. I know we had this discussion before, but just in case anyone hasn't catch or saw anything that we've done in the past and a couple of things, I wanted to because I use those words interchangeably. When you meet somebody, you love their spirit, for example, or you say, "Oh, that's a good soul. That's an old soul."
Oh yeah.
I believe my spouse is like that. I really believe my spouse is an old soul. She's been here. She's just grounded in a different way, and so I think of it as a soul versus the energy of a spirit. So I just wanted to get your take on that. I know you're talking to so many people on Clubhouse and on other platforms, by the way. I'm emphasizing Clubhouse just because you hold such incredible rooms, and I think that platform is just going to be so amazing for you, and I know there's other audio platforms out there that hopefully you'll be able to gravitate to and build audiences that way. Let's answer this question here. Where do you think self-worth comes from? What is this, the idea of being worthy, if you will? Where does that come from?
Where does it come from? Where should it come from? Because that's two different
Either or,
questions,
please share.
right?
Please share your
Yeah.
thoughts on that.
So for a lot of us, all that comes from programming, right? You're little, you do something that is seen as good, you're rewarded, and you build your esteem that this is how I get love and connection. And then you do more of those things. And then if you do something that felt good to you in the moment, but that wasn't on somebody else's agenda or program, then no, and then you're not rewarded, and then something is withheld, whether the reward, the attention, the love, the whatever, and then you feel bad about yourself. And you don't learn to distinguish between your action and yourself, what you do and who you are, right? And so then we just grow up in this programming of looking outside of ourselves to determine our self-worth. Am I pleasing people? That's where pleasing people comes from. Because when I please people, then I feel good about myself, right? And that's why it's hard for some people to say no, because I don't want to say no, because really, even though I need to say no, I'm tired, I'm overcommitted, I'm this or that. I don't want to lose this feeling of significance and connection to them. And that gives me my self-worth. So I'm going to keep saying yes, even though I'm going to low key go into passive aggressiveness because I don't want to do it. Right. You got that. Now, where should it come from?
Yes.
It should come from the thing that we sparked and is the divine that's on the inside of us. That piece of source, God, the uncreated creator, Allah, Buddha, whatever that is for you, that piece of source. God is love, not has love, is love. And so when you are in alignment with that, there's no other way to see yourself than divinely made. Yes, a work in progress, but enough for where you are, no matter where you are. So I can be enough in this moment and still need to learn some stuff. That's a very different take on myself than I don't have enough, I don't know enough, I'm not good enough. If you know that on the path, as long as you are always efforting, you're always open, you're always ready to receive, you're always ready to correct yourself. I have this thing. I don't need those big, open up the terrain and suck me into that hole, or have something over here drastically happen. Just gently bump me when I need self-correction, because I'm always one that's going to look inside. Am I treating others the way I would want to be treated? Am I leading with my best and highest self in this moment? Am I able to hold every thought that comes in my head, because they don't all need to come out of my mouth? I mean, it could be as simple as that. And when I am able to do that, I am able to see myself as the divine sees me. a co-creator of my experience, not some victim of circumstance, traveling from, from rock to rock, drifting down the river like a little leaf. I actually have deliberate creator authority within me for who I am, how I present, what I draw to me, what I keep away from me, how I interact with others, how I show up, the energy I bring in space, all of it. And that can all be gotten from alignment. And when you're in alignment, that place of self-worth is now non-negotiated, because I don't have to be the smartest person in the room to be worthy. I don't have to be the highest, ranking coach I don't have to be the highest rated television daytime. That's not where my worth comes from. That's external. The worth comes from, I am a gift. I am on purpose because I'm here. The very fact that I'm on this planet is the evidence needed to guarantee that I was not a mistake, that the same energy that flung stars and made moons and created insects too tiny to even see, thought that I needed to be here for such a time as this. I'm the manifested evidence. I'm worthy.
Wow.
Just because.
I received that. That is just, I'm just letting it sink in for a second.
I'm letting it sink in because I got I'm getting that love goosebumps.
I know what you're
And I don't know if these are just for me or for somebody else. Maybe somebody just heard that for the first time, that, oh, I've been thinking about me all wrong. Like, no, you're worthy all by yourself. The fact that you're here is your proof. So stop looking to other people to give you the evidence you've been seeking to know you're enough.
Gosh, I just love the way you present these beautiful ideas. I want to, while it's still fresh in my mind, because I received that. Maybe those goosebumps were from me, but I'm sure there's somebody here. I'll check the comments in a second. I often say about your inner voice. If you took your inner voice, the one that speaks to you, that sometimes says you're not good enough, smart enough, whatever it is. If you took your inner voice and amplified it to the entire world, would you be proud of what people heard? How do you tame that? How do you tame that? I'm asking you specifically. How do you tame that voice? Because, like you said, sometimes you don't jump out of bed and feeling on 10. You have to get there. How do you tame that voice to allow yourself to find that self-worth?
I'm feeling a lot of, I'm pacing myself in this moment. I'm just allowing myself to kind of feel whatever is happening right now, because I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. And I don't want to run past them because I don't know if there's something in it for me, for you, for whomever that is. So I'm just letting you know why I didn't just kind of jump right into that question. I have in the past, well, I do, and I have in the past encouraged others, but now I've changed my languaging on this. If this works for you, then try my way. If this doesn't work for you, then there are other ways. I have to have a strong conversation with my inner critic, because she's a badass chick. I mean, I have to have strong conversations with her. I mean, I'd be embarrassed to tell you how strong. I'll give you just I'm gonna punch you in the throat if you don't shut up. That kind of strong language.
Totally relate.
Right? Because some of the stuff, if you listen to some of that stuff that comes across the wire up there, it's crazy. You can't listen to that, right? And what I've found is, when you've done the work enough, and maybe there's someone who is enlightened and ethereal enough that they never have low-level thoughts, more power. But they still pop up every now and again for me. And I have to, but here's the difference. I learn not to give them focus. Like my coaching mentor, one of my coaching mentors, Tony Robbins, says, is where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on that thought, you have given it, it's like taking a seed, planting it, and now watering it and giving nutrients so that it can grow. If you don't give that focus, or do what I do, which is I take that and I replace that with something else. I negate it. I go, no, that's not true. That's not the truth about me. That's what you have to ask. Is that true? Is that true?
Mm.
Is everybody really laughing at me? Or is that old programming? Yeah. And then you have to replace it with this. Well, I did look kind of funny right there. Can I laugh at myself? That's just an example for something that happens with me. But if strong languaging isn't something because of your experience and what you grew up with, some people have grown up with abusive tones and conversations, and that might not work for you. Then what you have to do is you have to love it and go, you know what, I hear you, but that's not a thought I'm going to subscribe to right now. That's not a thought that I'm going to nurture right now. Because what I know is, and then you go back to your gratitude. Yeah. What I know is that I might not have all the answers, but I know how to get answers. What I know is I might not be the smartest person in the room, but that's not what is required of me. I'm here because of the gifts I have to offer. I might not be, and you have to bam, 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 bam. You have to, and I find that you saying stuff out loud is important. You have to pierce the atmosphere with your voice, and you have to speak to it. Because have you ever tried to fight a thought with a thought?
Oh,
yeah. You have to, the moment you say it, enough. I've done that too. I've done a pattern interrupter and just gone, enough. Not true. Not subscribing to that. Not listening to that today. Not today.
Yeah, I know what you mean by trying to offset a thought with a thought. I mean, let's face it. I mean, it just gets really messy real quick. Like, oh yeah, it gets messy real quick, and yeah, you can lose yourself in that whole experience.
The main thing is, though, to your point, we all have those goosebumps. Yeah, mama, is to take action, to recognize it, to analyze it if you can. And even if you don't have, because some people, some of my clients will go, well, I don't know if it's not true. That's the problem. Okay. So then you say it could be true, but what's more truer than that?
Right. Great question.
What's more important than that? Okay. Maybe you don't know if that's true or not, but what's more important than that?
Right. Yeah. Go find them. And that falls into the gratitude piece you just talked about, intentionally looking for the things that you're grateful for.
I find that comes up a lot with, I find that comes up a lot with people, imposter syndrome, right? Where that languaging continues where you're not ready and you don't know enough to do this and blah, 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 blah. And you could let that go on. And really, it's not, I call it evil because of this. Anything that kills, steals, or destroys your confidence in yourself, or you physically or your body, that to me is evil. I don't use that word a lot, but if it kills, steals, or destroys from you, that to me is evil. So anything that would tear you down, that's killing your confidence, that is destroying your sense of self, that is destroying your sense of purpose and connect. And you have to attack it. And so you say, I might not know as much as this person, but what I do know is this, and they can't do what I can do. They don't have my personality. There are people that are going to hear from me in a way they won't hear from that person. You have to learn how to work what you got. But again, why does that work? Because you are in your enoughness. And some people need help, like a trainer, to help you see that in yourself, to help undo the doing. Like I call it that old programming that makes you think less of yourself than you should be thinking.
Yeah, clean that tape. There's almost like you record over that tape. We have to make a new tape that's playing in our heads and so on. A lot of amazing comments coming in here, and I wanted to share with you because Gabe, good to see you there. Yeah, I need a snap button. There you go. There you go. Those are angel bumps, Suzanne. So there's right there. I just wanted to share this with you, Janette, is that Daniel Hall,
thank you, Daniel.
His story is unbelievable, but I'll condense it real quick. Is that, he grew up in foster care, and he was physically and mentally severely abused when he was young. And now he's the dad of 6, not 2, not 5, 6 special needs children.
That's so
brought in. I mean, it's just an unbelievable story. And I wanted to mention that because Daniel has that story that you just talked about, where that inner voice was always just, he wasn't good enough. He was just told that it was programmed into him.
That's right.
Right. And everything you just said there, I just wanted to acknowledge him.
Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful heart calling, Daniel. Kudos to you.
He's super, super amazing guy. Goosebumps right there. You're absolutely right. Here's Daniel. What if you could listen to them and hear them what is it they want to say, and acknowledge that voice. You know, we're
Would it
talking.
continue to repeat itself to you, or would it once it was heard? I know exactly what you're saying, Daniel. And for me, it depends on what it's saying. For instance, I was walking across a balcony one time that was a beautiful balcony that had a 30-foot drop. And I had a voice that was just like, I wonder what would happen if you just tripped over. No, I'm not going to entertain that. I don't want to hear that. Right. There's nothing good that would come from me from, why don't you just, I'm not going to throw myself over there. That's stupid. No, I'm not doing that. And, if that has never happened to any of you,
hey,
I'm mentally, I can tell you that I'm not suffering any mental illnesses. This is just low level stuff that comes up. Sure. And so for those kinds of things, Daniel, I acknowledge it, but I quickly pivot away from that. Other stuff, like you're not good enough. That's the stuff I mean, where I say that might be true, but what's more true? And then, I work through that. What validity is that? And if there's no validity to that, and if there's something more truer than that, that would best serve me, my highest good in that moment, I pay more attention and focus on that. Yeah, I hear you, Daniel. I hear you.
Absolutely. And Danielle says, I'm still a work in progress. Yeah, get in line, aren't we all? Absolutely. It's so true. I just want to follow up with you about what you just said there, just so that you, like I said, people think, oh, she's the only one that feels like that. No, I can remember, for example, as a videographer out making travel videos, hanging out the side of a helicopter and having my just harnessed in just by that. The doors are off.
Right.
And even while you're filming, there's a part of you that goes, I wonder if this thing breaks, what's going to happen. Right. I'm thinking, I don't want to talk about that right now. Let's
no, that's not even an option. No. And I say stuff out loud, like there's a those kind of staircases when you go up, like the bird's eye kind of lighthouses and these
like
that kind. I had to because I still do some media work and stuff in different places, and this older building had it, and I went up there. It was like, what if you happen? And it tried to play a movie in my head, and this is different than. Let me say this. I have had premonitions. I guess that's the word I'd use, or a vision of forecasting of like, I heard it. You're about to have a car accident. And then a car accident happened in front of me. And then of course, because of that, I had a car accident. So I've had that kind of thing, but this isn't the same. First of all, it doesn't, what's the energy that comes with it? Mm-hmm. Is it an energy of care, an energy of protection? Is it an energy of support? That's one thing, but this is a different energy. This is that try to scare you, fear-based.
Yeah.
And that I don't entertain that. So when it was like, it tried to play a thought, like a whole movie, kind of like a daydream in my head of me tripping and hitting my chin on these stairs and going. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I stopped and I said, that's not happening today.
No, we're not doing that.
Not happening at all. It's not going to be happening. And I paid attention to what I was doing and went on up the stairs, and people would be surprised. And I'm saying this, I don't even know if I've ever really talked about this, because I don't want you to think you're the only person that has these weird, low level, random thoughts that pop up. Nobody, I have worked with high achievers, people you all know that are very mainstream, that are very public, and they will all tell you that they will have little thoughts and ideas come in, but they all have learned how to deal with those things. So no, nothing's wrong with you, unless you've been diagnosed as something else going on with that, but no, nothing's wrong with you. And you just have to understand your mindset, and you have to get into that practice of feeling, not only hearing the words, but feeling the source of that energy. What is that? Is it edifying? Is it in love? Is it nurturing? Is it protective? Is it weird? Is it fear-based? Is it low level? Is it, anxiety ridden? those are the things that help you kind of discern between them. But
Oh,
that's a deep subject for.
that's a deep subject. But hey, I love that you took us there, because you just gave me a permission to think it's not just me, because
It's not just you, boo.
I have those things. I have those things. So a lot of great comments. I hope you please, everyone, we're going to go back after the show. We'll go through the comments. We'll send the love out. We'll want to make sure.
I can't wait to read them.
Oh, there's all kinds of cool stuff here. Hey, listen, we need to do some reflections. We need some reflections. Yeah, that's what we have to do right now. We have to do some reflections, and I'm going to play something for you.
Uh-oh.
We're going to play something for you, and then I just want you to. We'll just talk about it. We'll just comment on it, because I found something in it, and it was moving to me. And it's funny that you were talking about it earlier in one of your rooms. You just mentioned it on the show right now that you were in a room talking about this very, very subject matter. So she's thinking, what is he talking about right now? So here, let me just play this, and then we'll just talk about it. We'll just talk about it. Here we go. Here we go. Wow. Who is?
You got me. You got me.
Not the intention. Not the intention.
Say again.
I said that wasn't the intention. There's supposed to know.
No. I don't mind sharing my tears. I wasn't expecting it, but I don't mind sharing my tears. What
Who's
do
that
you
beautiful?
say
Who's
about
that beautiful soul? Who's that beautiful
what do you
soul?
say about a man who, as a father, well, just as a man, had to go through so much? There's a movie that just came out on Netflix called Passing. And for those of you who don't know what it's about, there's a terminology in Black culture and colorism where, we all come in different shades and colors. And so there are some people, some people may have looked at that and thought that my father was white, but his grandfather was white, but he identified as Black and was raised in Black culture and Black community, but had to go through so much. He really should have been much higher ranked in the Air Force, but was, for instance, wouldn't take an assignment at the Pentagon because it was going to keep him from my mother far more than he wanted. And they wanted to build a family. And so as a reward for that, they sent him to Anchorage, Alaska for 2 years. Just different things that he endured as a man, and was just the most loving, funny. He was one of those guys that would crack jokes and you'd be busting out laughing inappropriately while he held the stoic, appropriate face. Just taught me a lot about so much. I mean, he was the guy that was going to make sure I knew how to change a tire, that I knew how to change the oil in my car, that I was going to be self-sufficient, that I knew my worth and my value. That's my brother, Mark. They're looking so alike in that picture right there.
Yeah.
That's when I first moved to Atlanta. I had just gotten the job with Fox 5 in Atlanta, and I got to Atlanta and they were moving me in. He just really gave me a high sense of self as a woman. And when it came to men, I'm not looking for my daddy, when it comes to dating. But what I do know is that there are good men that aren't perfect, but that treat women with value and respect and regard them as more than,
Yeah. Do you think is that the number one lesson? Do you think? I was just putting up there, but what's the number one thing you pulled? I obviously pulled a lot of love, a lot of compassion, I can see it in the photos. I've looked at a lot of photos of you in the past and things that you've posted, and I was in tears watching that stuff too.
Yeah. So. I mean,
cool. It's beautiful.
It's just so much love. I appreciate it. It's a beautiful way. It's a way that we connect to those who have gone on, right? What did I learn most? What I learned most from my dad was to just freaking believe in myself and try some stuff. And it doesn't matter if I get it right the first time. Just believe in myself. Breathe and leap. Breathe and leap, and the net will either show up or your wings will will engage and you'll fly. Either way. And because of him, there was never anything I didn't think that I couldn't do or try or have.
Gosh, that's a great legacy. That's a beautiful legacy. Yay. That's awesome.
My dada.
It's beautiful. I just resonate with that because I told you earlier about my spouse and her situation. And, I have my father left. My dad is still alive. My mom's passed, but my dad is still alive. So I resonate with, and you held space for someone who experienced that this week in Clubhouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And, and this is what I want to say because the truth is, with the pandemic, we've lost so many people. And, the reports are saying that we won't even know the full impact of what that even looks like for us as a society moving forward, because people are still kind of dealing with the initial, right? We don't know what that looks like when, 700 plus thousands of people are gone out of the equation. And so what I will say is, I remember thinking, how is the world still turning and people are laughing and the most beautiful soul has left this planet? Like I just didn't understand it. But here I am today, and the pictures that you just showed, they caught me in my feels. But those same photos make me laugh. Those same photos make me smile. I am grateful for the legacy of the ripples. Some people didn't have a great dad, and I'm grateful that I was fortunate enough to have that. Again, I always find my way back to gratitude. And I allow myself to feel the missing of that person here, but I sure as heck rather have had him for as long as I had him than to never have had him at all.
Oh, that's beautiful sentiment. Beautiful sentiment. Well, I'm sure his soul is resting well watching you do what you do. So that's legacy stuff. I often talk about legacy.
I'm actually laughing because the other thing that my dad would do is when I would have shows or different things, and my family would come, he was a ham. So if I introduced my family, if I said, I'd just like to thank my he would like get up, and do the whole.
Yeah, that's me. She's talking about me.
And so to me, kind of like you playing this is like, oh, you found your way into this interview too. So, okay, we see you, Pops. Way to do it.
There you go. You probably
way to pop in and show up. All right.
Oh, That is super, super amazing. There's just so many beautiful comments here for you, just so you know. And
Thank you.
yeah, it's just lots of hearts and you know, lovely, and people are just feeling it. So I just wanted to share that part with you because it
Thanks for
for me it puts perspective into and context into what you do today and your languaging and who your soul and who your spirit is. And when people know that about you, now there's that level of depth of when people are working with you as a coach or as someone who you tune in to
Yeah.
listen to the insights, you know that there's a depth there of where this comes from. So I just wanted to share that with you. I should have brought some tissues here myself, so I know we don't get caught like that. But it was beautiful, and I appreciate you. Me surprising you like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, again, it's really just about having other people kind of vicariously have that experience. And you just said it. I mean, we just mentioned Daniel Hall, you know, grew up in foster care. He surely didn't have a great dad, and the repercussions, you know, that's the legacy piece. You know, what we do in life echoes in eternity. One of my favorite quotes from a movie. And you know, obviously your dad is still echoing, so that's fantastic.
And what
I
I
love
love about the story, or the snippet that you shared with me about Daniel Hall, is that he couldn't be the guy he is today if it had happened differently. And that's probably a whole nother show. But a
wow.
lot of times,
Yeah, that's
you
very
know what I'm saying? But a
yes,
lot
I
of
do.
times people like Oprah, could Oprah have been who Oprah is had she not
Right.
experienced the level of atrocities that she experienced in her childhood? We stand on our broken pieces. We stand on and we mend our broken pieces. And even, you know, that beautiful artistry, the Japanese artistry of putting together broken bowls. We in Western civilization get out the super glue or the gorilla glue and we want to put it back exactly like it was. They take powdered gold and silver and metallics and they weave that into the creases of where it's broken.
Right.
And they create something even more beautiful and stronger than it was initially in its original state. And that's what I feel like happens with people like Daniel, Oprah, and all of us who have gone through something. We have broken pieces, but if we will learn to find the lessons in them, to not be beat down by the earned bitterness and everything else that we could stand in. And we instead recycle that into love, into purpose, so that somebody else's experience benefits from our pain, but doesn't anchor them to that pain. That's the beauty.
Yeah, beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you for mentioning that. Um, you know, here I want to take you right here just it was in this video, so I just saw it, and I hope I got it right.
Oh my God.
I hope I got it right here. I just want to look at this person here, and I just want to say, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, you're still close with your mom and your mom. I've seen lots of great pictures of you and your mom, and
Yeah.
she's a dynamo. I'm assuming that this is you and your mom.
That's me and my mom. And
Yeah.
I don't know if she's watching, but if you're watching, hey mom, she just had her, don't tell her I said 90th birthday. She is.
Oh, that is
I
awesome.
mean, she's
Are you
so
kidding me?
spry. Yes, we had the best time.
All right.
I mean, I'm so
You
proud of
don't have
her.
to say it. I'm going to say it. Happy 90th birthday. I mean, are you kidding me?
I know. Isn't that awesome?
That's fantastic.
I'm so proud of
Look
her.
at those two beautiful souls right there. And you're still, again, I just love it.
Here's your coach. I love it. Actor, musician, singer.
There's your musician and singer and author and Emmy Award winner and coach and ordained minister and
Yeah,
all of the
all of
above.
it.
What are you going to talk to? What are you going to say to that little girl if you had her on your lap right now?
Oh, advice to your younger self. That's so cool. You know what it would be? Just be. Collect the labels, but you don't need them. No label can define what you'll do. Not a single one of them will be strong enough to contain the isness that you're going to bring to the world. So follow your heart, follow your spirit, follow your purpose, follow your bliss into all of those areas. Collect all those labels, but don't let them confine you. Don't let people's expectations of what those labels mean define you. Just be.
Wow. Love that. Love that. I received that. I think other people out there probably listening right now received that as well. I wish and it is a common question. I've seen that before, but I can't help but ask those when it's at the depth and the level of sort of the life experience that you've had. Again, the people that you've met, the life that you lived, first of all, moving around with your dad and your family and so on. And then, experiencing loss and then your career and it's so broad and wide. So when someone can kind of have that kind of life experience and then look back and say, I just need to pull this person aside. Because I ask myself all the time. I really do. I ask myself, geez, Peter, when you were 26, remember this and this and this. And I wish I could go back and talk to that kid. And,
yeah. Oh my God. Hey, how about this? How about you of yesterday? Like some of us just need to go back and talk to us from last week or today, because some of us are still trying to fit ourselves into everyone else's pre-packaged Ziploc bags, and so that we fit in. And I'm telling you, my sense is this, and Daniel, I know you're listening, or you may still be listening. Those of you who are spiritually and tied, I have no regrets, Peter. Like, yes, it refined and defined me. Absolutely. That what our world needs right now is for people to get into position, which means you can't be worried about what people think about you. I did for a while. I didn't talk a lot about the ordained minister part, because I know that for some people that's a trigger. For some people it means something else. And I just said, screw it. I might have to be me doing that so they see something different. Right. And I don't know that I know what all of that is, but I know that I'm doing what I'm led to do. And so it must be right for me. So just trust me. It's going to be good stuff. It's going to be good stuff for me and for you. I'm also a Reiki energy healer. I'm also an actor. I'm also a this. And I used to think it was like, hey, God, you kind of got me in the kitchen with Alfredo sauce and pancake batter and like bratwurst and, pudding. And you're like, make something. None of these things seem to fit. And then one day I got it. Nobody asked you to make one meal. Somebody's going to come and wants dessert. Fix them dessert. Somebody's going to come and wants the Alfredo. Fix the Alfredo. Somebody's going to come and want the bratwurst. Give them the bratwurst. It doesn't have to be one meal. You're serving up to everybody.
Wow. That's, first of all, that's life. That's life advice right there. Beyond. But gosh, I just heard so much in there that I see why you coach CEOs and executives and people who have public statures as well, is that,
they're the most bound sometimes.
Right. We're always saying, hey, I want people to know me like this. I want people to know me as that.
And then they use that excuse of brand, but that's not my brand. I'm like, really? Right. Well, did you create your brand or did your brand create you? Because that's the question. You really got to figure
that out. Is a beautiful question. I just wanted to show that Daniel also said, I'm so thankful for my journey. My wife and children are my biggest life teachers, or teachers in life. So blessings to you, my fine friend, and your family, and so on. Other people are going to find healing in your wounds. Your greatest life messages and most effective ministry will come out of your deepest hurts.
Yes, Melody.
There it is right there. And yeah, we got to do a little shout out to Mama right there, 90th Mama. That's what we're going to do. Hey, this is fantastic. I so appreciate you sharing those insights. They're so incredible. But we're not done yet. I know you have a show to do. You got some things to do. By the way, everybody, again, I'm going to emphasize, I have it along the bottom. Reach out to Janette, go to the website, learn as much as you can. The 2 books are available on Amazon. And again, she does amazing work on Clubhouse. You're a voice. You are a voice actress as well, a voiceover artist and actress. You're an artist. And your voice is super amazing for your meditations and so on. People, listen, do yourself a favor, okay? Go onto her website and check out, and you'll find some meditations, or Google Janette, and just dare to sit down and listen to her talking to your ear. You are incredible. So I just want to make sure that people knew that like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a giant fan. Hey, but you know what? We've got to get to know you better. I mean, if you think we've learned everything about Janette, guess what? One of my favorite parts of what we do around here, and I think you know what's coming.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you? Come on. Hey, we got to do a little of this or that. We got to do some this or that.
Let's do this or that.
Yeah, this or that. No right or wrong. There's no right or wrong here. Okay, we're just having fun. And again, I apologize. I didn't ask this question in advance. So if it's not that answer, I'll have another one for you. But I'm just going to say two things. You just pick one of them. You just pick one of them, and then I'll give me an insight, a little bit of insight inside that beautiful mind over there. I don't know if you enjoy a beverage every now and then, but I'll start and see if you do or not. Whiskey or wine?
Wine.
Oh, wine. Are you red or white?
Red.
Okay. Shiraz or is a Cab Sav kind of thing?
Depends.
Hey.
What
time of the morning is it?
Shiraz. It just It depends. Is it a meal or is it a moment? And then
okay. Very good. Very good. How about a superpower? Invisibility or the ability to read someone's mind?
I'm gonna try invisibility. Yeah. I don't think I need to know everything that's going on in somebody's head.
Right? And if you want to know, you can be invisible and kind of just listen to what you're saying.
Oh, can I just tell you quickly too? When people come in the room and I get a download for them, and by a download, I mean Spirit reveals to me something of encouragement or something to share. I never get all the people. Sometimes people don't want to come because they think I know all their business. I don't know all your business. I only get the message I'm supposed to get to you. So I'll be talking about stuff. And sometimes it's uncomfortable for me. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this because some things are very specific. It's never embarrassing.
Right.
But, I'll say something. People will like, how did you know that? I don't know. And then just like, you'll say like, do you remember when you, and I'm like, no, I don't remember.
That's what I'll add to that, everybody. Yeah, I want to add to that. That happened to me with you a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to play it here, but it was you were speaking so much to me that I felt like you sent it to me, and so I wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, that's personal to you, but it was not embarrassing, right?
Not at all.
Anything that would make you right, and so that's why I would say I just felt like I wanted to throw that out there because that whole read your mind. It's not like I'm reading anybody's mind. It's not like I'm getting their personal information. I'm just getting these downloads of insights to share. So
100%. And like I said, I experienced that, everybody, and that's why I'm saying like what I love, and when I say this, I mean this in the kindest way. I'm just one of those people that are in tune and intuitive and all that thing, but I just keep pushing it away. So when I'm telling you that I experienced it, I'm telling you from almost from a doubtful Thomas kind of place. But I'm telling you, I got in that room. I asked a quick question, or I didn't even have asked a question. I just made a statement of some sort. And you said, Peter, I got something that's kind of coming in here. And you started talking. I was like, holy cow, she's just talking directly to me. So anyway, that's a great, a beautiful energy to have. And I appreciate you sharing that. How about this one here? A 60s music or 80s music?
Oh, dang. 60s.
Ooh, Stones or Beatles then?
Oh, wow. Stones.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, I love them both, but I'm a musician.
I know, but if you make me pick.
Right. I know, that's what I say. If I had to pick,
yeah,
I'm kind of a big Keith Richards fan, so I get it. I love that. Going into the 80s, though, I just want to know this because I'm super big fans of these two people as well. Prince or Tina Turner?
Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm gonna have to do Prince. I'm gonna have to.
I don't know. That's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough one, but I only because
he's the monster, though.
The musicianship,
right?
The songwriter, the singer, the performer. I mean,
come on. Right.
Yeah,
I know. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. It's not fair. Hey, if I come and visit you in Baltimore and we go out, Chinese food,
crab cakes.
Crab cakes. There you go. How about Chinese food or Italian food?
I'm probably gonna do the Italian.
Red wine. See, there you go. I get it.
Farewell.
I get it. Now I don't know if there's which way this is going to go or not. Wizard of Oz or a Casablanca?
Oh wow. It's really hard when you ask empathic people that kind of stuff because in one moment I could be very Wizard of Oz, and one moment I could be very Casablanca. So today, let me see where I am today. Today, I think I'm more of a Casablanca place.
Oh, I sense that. It's funny you say that. I sense that.
Yeah.
You have a swagger today. It's really cool. It's got a swagger. You always have a swagger. So how about this? Sunrise or sunset?
Ooh. Again, that's one of those things. It depends. Today, I'd probably be more of a sunrise.
Sunrise. Are you an early riser, generally speaking? Yeah.
Depends.
It
depends. It really does. Well, acting and different things, your schedule can be different. So like if you keep me up to 2 a.m, I'm probably not going to be an early riser. But I like to get up between 7-ish, no later than an hour or so from there.
Oh, fair enough. All right, this one's going to be fascinating to me, and you can't go wrong either way. Okay, a day with Oprah talking about television and hosting, those kinds of things, or a day with Michelle Obama just talking about life and stuff.
Well, since I had those 2 days with Oprah, I'm gonna pick Michelle because I have not had that one-on-one time with Michelle.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fast? I would love to see you guys have a conversation. I mean, that
would out there.
Put it out there, everybody. Michelle, just in case you're tuning in, right? That's fantastic. I'll set up this clip and we'll send it off somewhere. You never know. The universe works in amazing. The source.
Amazing. I'm putting my magnets out there, baby.
There you go. Okay. Gosh, this is another fun one for me. Hope or freedom?
Freedom. Freedom. Because in freedom, there is hope. But you can have hope and not necessarily have freedom. For me.
For you. Yeah. No, hey, there's no right or wrong on that. It's
there you go.
There you go. Love that. Finish this sentence for me if you can. Well, you can. I know you can. I love my life because.
Just because. I love my life just because.
Oh, I never heard that before.
Just because.
That's fantastic. Just because.
Just because.
Wow. I had not heard that. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second.
That's you got me in a very heart open, lotus blossom widely, just very open place right now. I like, even when I said that right now, I felt the gratitude like explode in my chest, because in that moment, what I felt and what I really, really do mean is that I love my life, not predicated on anything else except that it's a gift. My life is a gift. And sure, I stand in contrast sometimes to the things I desire or would like to see, or less of this or this or that. But this life really is a gift. And so just because.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And I'm glad we had an opportunity to have a heart-opening conversation. How could I not have one with you? It's impossible. I don't know anyone who's not had one with you like that. I so appreciate that very kind sentiment there of being heart open, and because you bring it.
Well, you've created the space, though. I need you to know that that's part of. You keep talking about how we hold space for people, but you're holding space right now, and clearly, if I didn't feel regarded and cared for and protected and covered and loved, I would. This could be different. Still great conversation, but it could have been different. So that's a testament to what you're doing for me
appreciate that.
And us in this moment, what we're creating together.
I appreciate that. That's super kind words to me. You know how much, much of respect I have for what you do. So hearing that from you means a lot to me. So thank you for saying that. Janette R. Smith, Renee, I just knew this was going to be an unbelievable conversation. And listen, if you didn't have other things to do, which I know you're on a schedule, and I so appreciate your time, I could sit and chat with you all day. And I hope we do this again. I am so going to tune into your Clubhouse rooms as much as I can for everybody. It's not just Clubhouse, everybody. I have the along the bottom there. It's, of course, you can go to her website as well, JanetteSmith.com, and you'll learn so much more. There's 2 books out there for you to tackle into. You can reach out to her for coaching. You can reach out to her for hosting. You can reach out to her for acting. And I mean, this is the real deal. You know that triple threat idea? You're like I don't have enough fingers for your threat. I mean, you have it all. So I super appreciate the energy that you shared with us today. And I know people here, you changed some lives. There's no doubt about it. You changed some lives. You touched some souls. I saw it in the comments, and I know it's resonating with them. And they're just better because they've learned about you today. So I really appreciate that.
I appreciate the opportunity. I never take it lightly when people want me to share space and amplify my voice print. And so I take it very seriously. I take responsibility for what I share and what I release out there. I'm taking a slow moment to just make sure that I don't have anything in particular that needs to be shared. But I'm grateful to you and for this connection. I just know that it goes beyond whatever this is. Though I don't know what it all is, I do know that much. And so I look forward to continuing to support you and to be a cheerleader for you. And for those of you who thought it not robbery to spend a little time online with us, whether it was for Peter or because you wanted to see, hey, what's this girl talking about, or whatever that is, I just want you to know that your time is valued, and that I don't count things as, happenstance. I think that people end up where they need to be for what they need in that moment. And I hope that something I've said has given you either some affirmation or confirmation, encouragement, inspiration. And so thank you. I feel you all. And so for that, thank you for welcoming me into your space. I appreciate you all.
Wow. And you say that so beautifully, and I've heard you, that's a regular sentiment from your heart that I've heard. So I know that is just how you are. That's not something you thought of. That's how you are. So I appreciate you sharing it with everyone listening right now. And to everyone that has shared stories in the comments, thank you. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back for sure.
I'm going to go back too.
There's some beautiful comments there. I'm sure there's going to be many people reaching out and want to learn more about you. All the connections are here. Everybody watch this again, download it again, share it with some people because someone's close to you, because I'm telling you, I heard so many things in there today that you talked to me directly. So I just want to thank you personally for that as well. And it's just been a pleasure. It always is. It always is. I have so much respect and I appreciate you. And I'm so glad that we crossed paths. Thank you, Jacqueline Way, for connecting us and putting this beautiful soul into my life. Everyone else, listen, I always appreciate you. You know that. And you know how I feel about what we do out there. It matters. So just be kind, everybody. Just be kind out there. That's not what we say out here. Janette, I'll talk to you on the other side for a couple seconds. If you got a couple seconds, I know you're busy.
Absolutely, boo. I'm here.
I love to see you. I'm going to end this one. I end this one. I always have multiple things to kind of choose from, but the gratitude part that you talked about, I've played this video before, but I just want to end the show with this because it makes me feel grateful. It's about my travels to Rwanda and this great little moment I had with this beautiful young boy, and it just grounds me back to what you just talked about, grounding back to gratitude, calming that little voice inside, and just remembering how blessed we are. So I super appreciate everybody. Be kind, everyone. Be kind. We'll see you on the other side, Janette. Great to see you. Bye, everybody. So I found a new friend, and we traded a pen for this soccer ball. And I thought it was really nice because I just gave him the pen because he'd been helping me throughout the day to learn Kinyarwanda. And he's a very smart boy, knows English very well, very good English. Yes. So I gave him a pen, which they love pens, and 10-15 minutes later he came back and gave me a ball for the trade. So I just thought that was really, really cool because I didn't ask for it. So yeah, Pira. Yeah, so he gave me that, so I'm really, really happy about that, and I'll be bringing this back to Canada. And yeah, I thought it was awesome. He's a really, really, really clever kid. He's going to be an English teacher. Professor. Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.